that this would not have reached our target before as a company, but today it does in a big way with ContiTech about acting responsibly in the environment and in different parts of the world. Acting sustainably. And I think we've had some presentations today that green is the new black about talking about materials and how we can reuse them and recycle them. And that's the type of thing that we're talking about here, or one of the things. And I'm not going to speak a lot about materials and so forth, a little bit more about applications and new products that fall in the line of being more responsible for the environment in our communities. But it's about acting sustainable, it's about conserving resources, and it's about raising living standards around the world. It's a big key focus for ContiTech, and they speak about it at the highest levels, and they speak about it at every meeting as well. So it's a new one for us, but we're catching on, and I think it can deliver a lot of new products and a lot of opportunities for us going forward. To give you an idea of some of the different things that ContiTech is doing or trying to work upon is this thing called Dynatech. And this is a new product from our elastomer coatings division that basically is saying there's a problem in the world in arid places in the desert where people don't have enough water. What can ContiTech do to help that? So the elastomer coating division comes up with a product that basically floats on the water of reservoirs, right? Seals it from the sun, keeps it cool, right? And reduces evaporation of reservoirs by 40%. And oh, by the way, while it's out there on these reservoirs, these big sheets of material, the backside of them are solar panels and can help generate electricity to run equipment around these reservoirs as well. It says 40% is our goal for reduced energy consumption for our own facilities is what we've been challenged to do. Right now, after about 3 years, we've got about a 17% savings in our facilities as far as what we're trying to do to reduce the use of natural gas, electricity, oil, all those types of things. So it's a big initiative within our company that we report out every time, all right, to talk about that. Talk about solar energy. Another thing is able to take a printing device that we have and print solar panels on the sheet of metal to make it much more economical to produce solar-generated powers for photovoltaic applications, okay? So an example of something a little bit different there. Okay, the e-bike system. This is in our power transmission group. Bicycles here in North America are primarily used for exercise, right? But as you guys know, you travel the world, you go to Europe, you go to China, that's what people commute with, right? So having a bike that's easier to pedal is a big thing and a big, big market, okay? So Continental started their own bicycle company where we make an e-bike that's run off electricity, and as you pedal, it generates its own electricity. It helps you go up hills, it helps you go faster, but it's a bike to help people commute and to try to drive people to use the bicycle more than to do cars. A little bit closer to Hose is a wave power plant off the coast of Scotland that was just recently installed. It takes wave motion, turns it into electricity, and this one unit that's out there is generating enough power to give lights or power to over 30,000 different homes on the coast of Scotland there. But our hydraulic hoses that were specifically designed for this application are out on this device floating out in the ocean today. The device that's the biggest polluter of the oceans for plastic is this thing right here, the washing machine, right? So I was like, help me make that connection. I don't get it the first time I saw it. So the way I picture it, the way I see it, is think of the partner of this machine as the dryer. And when you dry it, what do you have to do between loads? You have to pull that lint thing out and clean that lint off, right? If you don't do that, it just keeps piling up and piling up and piling up. Well, that same amount of lint comes off your clothes while it's in the washer, and there's no filter for it there. So all these little minute particles of polyester and nylon and rayon and all those things go up through that hose, right, through the inlet hose for the thing, down the drain, and eventually end up into the water. So it's been determined that if you want to clean the oceans of pollutants such as plastics, it's not about going after all those water bottles that you see or disposable packaging and so forth. If we can find a solution to this issue, it may solve the #1 polluter in the water today.